The Wire, 24th of October 2023, China has intimidated Bhutan by agreeing to end border negotiations quickly, which will affect India. Bhutan found itself in a difficult position as a result of China's bullying of her and India's lack of support. China is prepared to collaborate with Bhutan to fully establish diplomatic ties with the Himalayan Kingdom and to wrap up the current boundary negotiations as soon as possible. The development holds significance for India as well. On Monday, October 23, Bhutan's Tandi Dorji, the foreign minister, traveled to Beijing to meet with Wang Yi, the foreign minister of China. The conclusion of boundary discussions and establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Bhutan entirely serves the long-term and fundamental interests of the nation and country of Bhutan. According to a statement released by the Chinese Foreign Ministry, China is ready to work with Bhutan in the same direction, seize the historic opportunity, complete this important process as soon as possible, and fix and develop China-Bhutan friendly relations in legal form. 12 of the 14 countries China shares borders with have finalized their boundaries. The only two nations where border disputes still exist are Bhutan and India. China consistently prioritizes neighborhood diplomacy in its overall diplomacy and adheres to the premise that all countries, big or small, are equals, Wang Yi reportedly told his Bhutanese counterpart. China recognizes the rightful hopes and concerns of small and medium-sized nations and all countries' sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity. According to the Chinese statement, Bhutan's foreign minister stated that the two countries have a long history of friendship, that Bhutan adheres steadfastly to the One China principle, and that Bhutan is prepared to collaborate with China to resolve the boundary dispute as soon as possible and move forward with the diplomatic process of establishing diplomatic relations. According to the statement, he also expressed gratitude to China for its strong support and assistance to Bhutan. As part of Beijing's efforts to expedite the boundary dispute resolution, both nations established a joint technical group, JTG, on the delimitation of the China-Bhutan boundary last month. Both parties decided to establish JTG and take simultaneous steps to hasten the implementation of a three-step roadmap that will result in the boundaries demarcation during the expert group meeting, EGM, that was conducted in Beijing in August. Consequences for India? China claims territory in Bhutan's northwest and center of around 764 square kilometers. The disagreement was first raised during talks between China and India over their shared border. On the other hand, China and Bhutan began holding formal discussions in 1984. Since then, the Jakarlung and Pasamlung regions of North Bhutan and the Doklam region in West Bhutan have been the subject of more than 24 border negotiations and 12 expert-level consultations. Following China's commencement of road construction along the strategically important Jampheri Ridge Line in 2017, India and China were in a furious standoff over Doklam for around 2 months. China claims that the Doklam Plateau, situated between Sikkim and Bhutan, extends its Chumbi Valley, whereas India views the plateau as Bhutanese territory. Additionally, China annexed the Soktang Wildlife Sanctuary in eastern Bhutan in June 2020. Arunachal Pradesh, an Indian state, borders the area. In a March interview with the Belgian daily La Libre, Bhutan's Prime Minister, Lote Tshering, refuted claims that China had also constructed other communities within Bhutanese territory. Tshering has stated that while the triangular point with India would be addressed separately, with India included, the demarcation of the boundary between Bhutan and China would be settled as soon as possible. Doklam serves as a crossroads for China, Bhutan, and India. Bhutan cannot solve the issue on its own. We are 3 in number. Tshering had declared, there is no big or small country, all are 3 equal countries, each counting for 1/3. The Prime Minister of Bhutan had previously stated that talks on the tri-junction could not begin until China and India had settled their boundary disputes. "We're prepared. We can talk about this as soon as the other two parties are prepared. There are issues between China and India all along their border," he had continued. "We are waiting to see how they will resolve their issues." Doklam is extremely important for India in terms of security. China's hegemony over the area would jeopardize India's Siliguri corridor, a 22-kilometer corridor that links the country's northeast with the Indian mainland. The Chicken's Neck region connects Bangladesh, Tibet, Nepal, and Bhutan with India.